6 years ago, I reviewed a film known as Scary Movie, which is one outrageously warped out, twisted spoof flick. A year after that, I reviewed its sequel. And you know what? I reviewed them both for their anniversaries. And 3 years ago, I reviewed number three for its anniversary. So, what the hey? Here's number four, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary. Get ready, because here we go, because we're going to bury the village and bury the grudge and see the saw as I review Scary Movie 4. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a review of the 2006 parody flick Scary Movie 4. Released by Dimension Films, along with Miramax Films and Brad Gray Pictures. Once again, directed by David Zucker, who helmed the previous film, with screenplay by Craig Mazin, Jim Abrahams, and Pat Proft, based on a story by Mazin. This is a sequel to the third film and fourth installment in the Scary Movie film series. Anna Faris and Regina Hall return from the previous three films, plus others who had appeared in previous films, including Anthony Anderson, Carmen Electra, Chris Elliott, Kevin Hart, Leslie Nielsen, and others. This also has Craig Bierko, Bill Pullman, Cloris Leachman, Michael Madsen, Dr. Phil McGraw, Shaquille O'Neal, and Molly Shannon. The film was released on this day, April 14th, 2006, which henceforth today is the 20th anniversary of the film. Yep, see, I did it again. I'm celebrating 20 years of all the scary movies, except for that fifth one. Don't worry, I'll review that soon, since Scary Movie or Scary Movie 6 is coming up later on this summer. While it got mixed reviews, it still did pretty decent and what have you. If you haven't seen my reviews for the other films in the franchise, including Scary Movie 3, you can check them out in the playlist, which I am now going to update my actual review with, well, with a new picture, which I'm deciding I'm not going to revisit the first film, but anyway, I think I'm kind of happy with it, I think, but we'll see what happens. I'll leave it up like that for now, but if I decide that to change it and do a re-review or a revisited review, well, that might happen, but well, just stay tuned, details to follow, okay? Okay, now enough said. Let's get into the story. Shaquille O'Neal and Dr. Phil wake up to find themselves chained to pipes in a bathroom. A villainous puppet appears on a television screen and reveals that the room is slowly filling with nerve gas. To escape, Shaquille must shoot a basket to obtain two hacksaws, which Dr. Phil realizes are intended for their feet. However, Dr. Phil saws off the wrong foot and faints, leaving both to die. Therefore, we get our title card. Meanwhile, Cindy Campbell, once again played by Anna Faris, visits her brother-in-law Tom Logan in New York City, which I'll get to him. But her husband George has died, and her nephew Cody, well, it's a shame we don't see him in this, is enrolled in a military academy, leaving her heartbroken and lonely. Tom's attempted suicide resulted in him ingesting Viagra, which greatly swells his wanker and causes his death when he falls off the railing. This isn't it, folks? Okay. Afterwards, Cindy takes a job caring for Mrs. Norris, who lives in a haunted house. Next door is Tom Ryan, who runs into George's friends, Mahalik and CJ, and learns about their homosexual one night stand. He is greeted at home by the arrival of his estranged children, Robbie and Rachel. The following day, Cindy bonds with Tom, confiding to him about George's death in a fateful boxing match. They both realize their newfound love, but are interrupted by a giant tripod, that starts vaporizing deceased residents. Which, P.S. I apologize. I have yet to review War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. And I thought I'd give you a heads up. But rest assured, I'll try and review that sometime sooner. Okay, now where was I? Oh, yes. Cindy converses in what appears to be Japanese, but in reality is just a dialogue composed of random Japanese terms, with the haunted house's ghosts, a silent boy with pale skin, learning that the answer to the invasion is his father's heart. While Tom leaves the sea with his children, Cindy reunites with her friend Brenda Meeks, once again played by Regina Hall, who is inexplicably alive after she died in the previous film. Following the Japanese boy's directions, they head to the countryside and end up in a mysterious, isolated community they are captured and put on trial, headed by Henry Hale. The result allows them to live, but never to leave the village. Henceforth, that's a spoof of The Village from M. Night Shyamalan, another film I have yet to tackle. Meanwhile, there is an emergency UN meeting headed by the eccentric US President Baxter Harris, who is reluctant to stop reading My Pet Duck. The meeting goes awry when a malfunctioning alien weapon renders everyone naked. Tom and his children drive in a war between the US military and the aliens. Excited by the conflict, Robbie runs away while the tripod takes Tom and Rachel. Back in the village, Henry is killed by the village loon Ezekiel, who reveals to Cindy that he fathered the Japanese boy who was killed during Cindy's boxing match. Cindy and Brenda are soon taken by the tripod and sent to the bathroom scene in the prologue. They get stuck in the Venus flytrap from Saw 2. Cindy manages to get through the puppet's challenge but is stranded with the safety of Tom and his children who are put in traps. Looking at a toilet with a heart nearby, Cindy realizes that the puppet, through Henry's wife, is a true biological father of the Japanese boy. Now, for the ending, as always, you know the procedure. You've got 5 seconds to stop this video at once. Please go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. As I count down now, if you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Seeing how far Tom would go to save his children, the puppet who realizes his mistakes apologizes for the invasion and releases them. Robbie and Rachel successfully return to their mother, who is revealed to have married a much older man. Brenda also becomes romantically involved with a puppet's human brother, Zoltar. An epilogue set 1 month afterwards, narrated by James Earl Jones, who is subsequently hit by a bus, reveals Brenda's giving birth to her child with Zoltar, Mahalik and CJ resuming their relationship, and President Harris being content with his duck. Meanwhile, Tom appears in the Oprah Winfrey Show in a parody and wildly confesses his love for Cindy by jumping around, throwing Cindy across the room, then breaking Oprah's wrist and hitting her with a chair afterwards, running right for the screen as it fades out in the story. Okay? So what did I think of Scary Movie 4? Well, I'm gonna say it's fine. What have you? Maybe I did have this, but I got rid of it. I kind of lost interest in the film. It kind of ended up being one of my least favorites, but at least I'd rather watch that over Scary Movie 5 any day. Still, I am going to say this film is still absolutely crazy and twisted, just like before. Eventually, it still did well, becoming the third best opening weekend for the franchise and had the best Easter weekend opening ever, being out Panic Room. The film went on to make $178 million worldwide on its $40 million budget. So anyway, yeah. But the reviews were mixed though. As Rotten Tomatoes has this at 34%, saying sure to inspire a few chuckles, but not enough to compensate for the recycled material from its predecessors. Metacritic has a score of 40, and audiences surveyed by CinemaScore gave this a C+. Well, I'm gonna say this kind of comes smack dab in the middle for now until Scary Movie 6 comes along. I don't know if I want to go see it or not, but I wish it's the best of luck. But I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Anyway, Stephen Hunter of the Washington Post stated that while the film never takes you close to death by laughter, it's funny enough to turn the hands on your watch much more quickly than you can believe. Nathan Lee of the New York Times described the film as being organized on the principle of parody, not plot. It's an exercise in lowbrow postmodernism, a movie contraption, more nuts than Charlie Kaufman's gnarliest fever dream. It's cleverly stupid. Yeah, the film won a Razzie for Carmen Electra, even though she had also done a date movie the same year. But let's not get into that, alright? So, anyway, I will say it's crazy and what have you. But maybe not as good as the last movie, though, because I did like Scary Movie 3, because. But that still didn't come up close to my liking of the previous one. The, the Rotten Tomatoes score for this is actually 2% lower than the previous film. Still, and well, it didn't quite make as much as that film either because it was at 178 million compared to the 220 million the previous one made. But I still give it credit. James L. Venable did the film score, and it was fine, what have you. Having David Zucker on board, as of course he was best known for giving us Airplane and the Naked Gun films, did exceptionally pretty decent job with this film. Anyway, it was just so crazy and what have you. I mean, I liked the spoofs they did for him. Some things, some bits kind of freaked me out and what have you. But I won't get into too many details on that though. But hell, you'll know them when you see them. For the cast, we have Anna Faris back as Cindy Campbell, and she's good, but not quite as good as her in the last film. Of course, she's blonde, her original blonde color again. But I will say she's pretty good. And Regina Hall's back as Brenda. She's good too. Okay, give her credit. Craig Bierko, who most people might remember, he was on Sex and the City maybe a time or so, but he's been on some other shows and movies. He played Tom Ryan, a parody of Tom Cruise and what have you. Leslie Nielsen's back as President Harris. He's kind of an oddball at times. Bill Pullman played Henry Hale. He's fine. Um, Anthony Anderson is back as Mahalik Pfeiffer. Yep. And Kevin Hart as CJ. They're fine. Their little Brokeback Mountain parody, yeah, kind of crazy and what have you. Even though I've never watched Brokeback Mountain before, to be honest, and actually I've never watched it. I'm too nervous. I'm too a little nervous, a little scared into watching that. I don't scare much, but this is one film I'm kind of scared to watch, afraid to watch. Maybe not scared, but afraid to watch. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's continue on. We have Bo Mershoff as Robbie and Conchia Campbell as Rachel. They were good. Molly Shannon played Marilyn. Chris Elliott, who played Hanson, Scary Movie 2, plays Ezekiel. Carmen Electra, who played Drew in the first Scary Movie, plays the character of Holly, who was like this blonde chick and what have you. Well, she kind of was a little sexy in one bit, but anyway, and Cloris Leachman played Mrs. Emma Norris. Oh, there's so many. We do have cameo appearances by Shaquille O'Neal and Dr. Phil as themselves. Simon Rex reprises his role as George, but only for a little bit during the boxing scene, which was a parody of Clint Eastwood's Million Dollar Baby. Uh, Charlie Sheen appears as Tom Logan, but was uncredited. Deborah Wilson played the Swivel Oprah. We have Holly Madison, Bridget Marquardt, and Kendra Wilkinson of TV's The Girls Next Door, you know, the Playboy series, as Girls in Tom's Bed. Lil Jon and Fabulous and Chingy, they all appear in this. Bubba Sparks. is in this. Oh, believe me, the list goes on and on. So with everything said, Scary Movie 4 may not be the best of the franchise, but it's fine in why. I mean, I like some of the parodied stuff they parodied in. Would I recommend it? Only if you are a hardcore completionist. I give it a one-time watch. That's it. So, will I review Scary Movie 5? Yeah, I'll probably do that soon, but not soon, but maybe later on soon. You get the point, okay? What did you think of Scary Movie 4? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of the 2016 remake of The Jungle Book. So if you like this, check out my reviews for some of these other satires that I've tackled. Here, I've recently tackled the Naked Gun trilogy and its recent remake from last year. You can check them all out by going to the Naked Gun playlist in the upper left hand corner. The upper right hand corner is my review of Airplane from 1980, or if you'd like, check out my review for another spoof film that Dimension released a few years after Scary Movie 4 in Superhero Movie, which features some of the few people who were in this film. And the bottom right hand corner is a button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.